Who was the book of Revelation written for? Most people believe the book of Revelation was written for all Christians from all the ages. But was it? Is it really meant for you and me right now? That's a very important topic, and it's what we're talking about today, and we're starting right now. Who Revelation was written for makes a huge difference. It impacts how we read it and what parts apply to us. It is far from a trivial matter. Like most books of the New Testament, the audience is listed in the first chapter. John tells us, "I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a loud voice like the sound of a trumpet saying, 'Write on a scroll what you see and send it to the 7 churches. To Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea.'" So John is specifically instructed to send Revelation to these 7 churches. To which most would say, well, okay, so what? Ephesians was sent to the church of Ephesus too, and it's for everyone. Thessalonians were sent to the church of Thessalonica, and that's for everyone. So what is the big deal? Well, part of the big deal is identifying who the 7 churches are. If they are 7 historic churches in the first century, then this logic would certainly apply. If they are the 7 church ages, like some think, then this logic would still apply. However, if they are 7 future churches existing during the 70th week of Daniel only, well, then this logic would not apply. Not at all. In that case, the instructions in the book would apply specifically to the future churches. We explored this question of whether the 7 churches are past, present, or future in a previous landmark video. If you want to see the reasons that it cannot be church ages or only historic churches, click on the banner in the upper right to watch that video. But just to show you some examples, in the letter to Pergamum, Jesus says, "Therefore repent, or else I am coming to you quickly, and I will wage war against them with the sword of my mouth." Jesus wages war with the sword of his mouth at Armageddon. No one in a historic church or at a church age will be present at Armageddon. Only those who live in the 70th week of Daniel have that unfortunate chance. In the letter to Thyatira, Jesus says, "I gave her time to repent, and she does not want to repent of her sexual immorality. Behold, I will throw her on a bed of sickness, and those who commit adultery with her into great tribulation." Only those alive in the 70th week can be thrown into great tribulation. In the letter to Sardis, Jesus says, "So remember what you have received and heard, and keep it and repent. Then, if you are not alert, I will come like a thief, and you will not know at what hour I will come to you." Again, Jesus only comes like a thief during the 70th week. So just from these 3 examples, we see that the 7 churches exist in the 70th week of Daniel because only those alive during that time period can experience Armageddon, the Great Tribulation, and Jesus returning like a thief. So there is no question that the 7 churches exist during the 70th week. And this answers one of the biggest questions in prophecy. Why does Jesus say he is coming quickly in Revelation when it has been 2,000 years and generation after generation have been born and died and Jesus has not yet come? The answer is that Jesus wasn't saying he was coming quickly to those alive in the 1st century or the 18th century. He was saying it only to the people he sent the book of Revelation to the 7 churches. And if they are churches that exist during the 70th week of Daniel, well, then that explains it. During the 70th week, Jesus will be coming quickly. He will be only a matter of a few short years before he returns. Now, some will say Revelation was about the Roman Empire in AD 70, and that's why it says he's coming quickly, to which we should all say, really? Since Revelation was written during the reign of Roman Emperor Domitian, which was more like AD 95 to 96, which precludes this. Church Father Irenaeus, a student of Polycarp, who was a disciple of the Apostle John himself, said that Revelation was written not very long ago, almost in our own generation, at the close of the reign of Domitian. This is from Against Heresies 30. Church Father Clement and Eusebius also tell us the same, that it was written about that time of the Emperor Domitian in the 90s. In fact, none of the early church fathers taught that it was written in and around AD 70. Plus, just simple logic eliminates this preterist viewpoint. Demonic locusts of the fifth trumpet haven't stung everyone on earth without the seal of God and had them begging to die. Fire and brimstone didn't fall and kill a third of the earth's population like it will at the sixth trumpet. Two witnesses didn't arise whose death caused everyone on earth to celebrate and give each other gifts. And the list of these kind of things that didn't happen goes on and on and on. And if the seven churches exist during the 70th week of Daniel, this also eliminates another popular proof of the idea that the church is removed from the earth prior to the 70th week of Daniel. There are a lot of people who write, well, where is the church found in Revelation chapters 4 through 19? The answer is it's there through the whole process. So just with this simple understanding of who the seven churches are, we can eliminate two of the biggest misunderstandings about Revelation. So if Revelation was written specifically to those living during the 70th week of Daniel, how does that affect how you and I interpret it? Well, the start of the 70th week triggers the point where obeying every aspect of the seven letters comes into play. For instance, two of the letters mention not eating food sacrificed to idols. Two mention the Nicolaitans. When the 70th week arises, these things change from being interesting, theological academic oddities, as they are right now, to being life and death instructions that we need to understand. If the seven letters to the churches truly are end-time instructions, then we need to understand them in detail. Click right here to keep watching and learn about the letter to Pergamum and the mysterious throne of Satan and how it relates to the current nation of Turkey and its evil dictator Erdogan. Till then, this is Nelson, and I'll see you there.